What's up,
That
you
was see,
guys?
that was my blackout right there. I had my viewfinder, and then whap, straight blackout.
On a Saturday, you so crazy, Phil. I love it. I
Happy,
love it. I
happy
love it.
day
I love
on
it.
a
I love it.
happy
Happy,
day.
happy,
Happy
happy, happy
day.
day, you guys. Hey, everybody. And I see you there on Instagram,
Mm,
Facebook, you, the tube. I know this is different Saturday. This is kind
Saturday,
of
Saturday.
cool. Kind of
Had to
cool.
do it. We had to do it. Tell them
Had
why we
to.
had to do it.
We
Tell
had
them.
to do it because we got this fabulous guy named Andrew Kishino, hip hop artist, voiceover talent. I mean, extraordinaire. And just a
I
fabulous
love that.
human being.
One of the realest. One of
One
the
of the
realest.
realest.
From the moment I met him, it was like, yeah, yeah, there's something
Yeah.
here. This guy is. I need to know him. I need to know this dude, because it's a crazy business, and we don't. It's lovely. There's a lot of wonderful people in it. I don't want to misconstrue anything, but when you come across some real people, they stand out. They
Mm-hmm.
just stand out, and he's one of those cats. So thrilled to have him. And also Saturday, what I meant was not that we had Andrew. Was that you gigging,
Oh yeah,
you
I'm
gigging hard.
kicking, man. I'm kicking like crazy. And it's been busy. So for all of you who are used to a lovely, smooth opening, it didn't quite happen the way we would have liked it, but we are here. And I think I don't even know if I can tell everybody. I think I mentioned what I was doing, but I think they're like squashing it right now, what we can do. But it's been crazy.
Mm.
And we're gonna take off, right, Phil, from like August to mid-September.
Yeah, yeah, like in Europe.
Like you like that's exactly what I was thinking too. We, the brother and sister team, they need just a little moment. Chantel K. Son, what's up, baby? What's
Chantel,
up?
what up, baby? Talented Chantel, amazing. Yeah, we got work. I mean, really, that's what it is. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on, and there's going to be a lot more this year going on. So just bear with us and try to hang out. And if you can't watch us live like we are now, then just archive us or come. Iona will save it on the various platforms, and
Yeah.
you get a chance to
Yeah.
catch up with what the heck we're talking about.
Yeah, we got so much going on. And hey, Phil, you want to tell us about your week before we go to our wonderful, illustrious guest?
Yeah, it was a great week. And our guests will talk to this as well. There's so many projects that we do that you just can't mention. You're under a PDA, and I got a couple of those going on right now. A lot of them, as a matter of fact. And I did one yesterday with some cats that I loved them. I just loved them. They were
Mm.
so kind and giving and creative. And I'm working with some people who are really, really talented. And that's always a pleasure. And I didn't know these people at all. As many times we go on gigs, we don't know them, unless it's like return work or somebody's coming back. And they're like, hey, really love what you did. We'd love for you to work with us again. These people I do not know at all. They knew me and they loved all my stuff on Seinfeld, and they wanted to hire me for this and play a character that's in the neighborhood, not on the nose, but and it was a blast, man, just a blast, and I can't wait to talk about it and tell people what's going on there and the other things that I'm working on. And I got something really special that I'm working on that I've written that's gotten some amazing response, and Iona knows about it. I don't know if she's read the script yet because she's been so busy, but not only
Today's my day. I'm so excited. It's already on
I'm
my
I'm gonna
computer.
I'm gonna send you the coverage. They already sent me coverage on it, and it's a big production company, and their coverage was. I mean, I'm in the office with them while they're reading me this coverage, man. I just threw my iPad and phone on the floor. I'm like, mic drop, because number one, people out there who are not in the industry, to get somebody to read your script is amazing, because nobody wants to read anything. They ain't got that kind of time, and they're
Nothing
trying to say
new.
no to everything. So to get with the notes that I got, which were super minor, and then the encouragement that I got, which was super major, it moved me deeply, deeply, and I can't wait to talk about it because I really believe that this is something that's gonna reach fruition, and I really hope so. So, um,
And this is
just
something
keep a good
also
thought for your brother.
we can share for Andrew. Definitely good thought for you, baby. It's you guys, writing your own project, doing anything that you create.
Mm.
You can sit there and you have all these naysayers in your own friggin' head that can stop you. But Phil didn't let him stop him. He just kept going and going. And you're always blind as to what other people are going to feel about your work. but you put it out there and look at the response. So, hey, everybody, we talk about the vision is possible. If you don't put the steps in there to make your own vision possible, to believe in what you are doing, you won't get the responses of good. You won't even get the
Mm,
responses of
mm.
bad that maybe give you a negative response to help you make it better. Let me take negative out. A helpful response, a good critique. And see, Phil stayed with it. And I cannot wait, Phil, to have my thumb go like this on my big screen and then see what you've done.
Your mouth to the universe's ears.
That's right. And I
You
got
know, we
pretty
live
good
in it
power.
here. We live in this vision as possible. We're not just on here. It's not just a cool title, cute, and all that stuff.
Mm-mm,
It's we
mm-mm.
walking and talking it, and so that's why it is what it is. And I want to let you people every step of the way know that we're doing it as well, and it's not easy for us either, but we do it, and we get up every day with that in our heart and
Right.
on our heart and on our spirit, and that's what moves the needle. And when people can respond and they recognize that it resonates, you'll find results that are pleasing. And so that's what it's all about. I can't wait to talk to our guest about how he converts all that into the possible.
Our guest. Our guest. You know we could read the resumes. You know we could read the bio. But you know how we like to do it here. Andrew Kishino. Oh, I can't believe it. You guys, I went offline. I can't believe I can't play his video. No, you know what? You guys are just going to have to sit through and cipher through as I'm looking for it because Andrew is too fantastic for us not to find his video. And yes, you're looking at all of my stuff. Now I'm going to The Vision is Possible. And then I'm going to our guests. And then I'm going to Andrew Kishino. And then I'm going to the flyers and videos. And then I'm going to his show video, which we're going to open. And I thought
Now,
it was going to do it. Damn, that's what happens. I can't go online. Ah, I'm so mad. And you know, it's only because I've been working all friggin' week and we had a Wi-Fi problem, you guys, and it just took us all off. And Andrew was here for that, and Phil, and I had to bring him back in, and I didn't get to reset. And so, you know what we're gonna do is now we're gonna bring Andrew in with love and mad, passionate love for you, Andrew Kashino. What's up, Andrew?
I love the video. I love the video.
It was my best one ever.
You know
Hey,
what? I,
brother.
I absolutely believe it and I receive it and I am so grateful for it. So it's
You know what's great about editing is everyone live will go, I can't believe that happened. But those who will see it, I'm going to put it in and they'll go, wow, it was seamless. It's going to be great.
Never, never, never let them see you sweat. Never.
Never, never. Andrew Kashino, voiceover talent extraordinaire. You've done some great, great work, Andrew.
thank you so much. And first of all, let me just say, first of all, how wonderful it is to be with both of you because I think the world of both of you, personally and
Mm,
professionally. Um, Personally, professionally, let me start professionally. Professionally, I've had the benefit of your guidance and for both of you being like North Stars for me, to always see you as a beacon of integrity, of dignity, of talent, of
Mhm.
relentlessness, of resilience, of all of these things. And then personally, to be so warm and effusive and welcoming, and encouraging, both of you, I have been the humble recipient of all of that, and I am so grateful for that. So it
oh,
is it
brother.
is a
Thank you.
tremendous honor to be here, and having gone back and seeing prior guests, I mean to be um on the show when knowing that Jennifer Lewis has been here, Tommy Davidson has been here, Richard Lawson has been here.
Mm.
You know the
Mm,
like legendary people.
mm,
So
mm,
I am
mm.
tremendously grateful for that.
Oh
Oh,
man, we appreciate that. And just so you know, as you've seen, we ain't got no scrubs. We got people
right.
This is what I'm
who are
saying.
about it,
This is what I'm
who are
saying.
about it,
Mm-mm.
and so you fit right in, is what I'm saying. And so
Come on, Phil.
we reflect and we return the love to you in so many ways. And I told you before we got on that when I met you, you're one of the realest cats that I know. And for me, that's huge. That's huge because we
Mm-hmm.
do live in a business of make believe and pretense, and and cover, and it's beautiful. It's a great art, whether it's behind the mic, in front of the camera, as a producer, with music, whatever. But who you are essentially means more to me than what you do.
Come on, Phil.
And how you do what you do means more to me than that you're doing it. So, how you do what you do, man, and what you do, and the diversity of the things that you're involved with, the creativity that is wrapped in the Andrew Kishino uh, energy is special. And I've always resonated and vibed with it. You know this. We talk about it every time we see each other.
That's
So
very,
true.
I
I want
mean,
to
that is
ditto what
true.
Phil
Like,
said.
mm,
Go ahead,
that's,
Andrew.
it's, yeah, I would like every time we have just linked up, it's like we always go straight into the deep stuff, straight into the deep stuff, but in a good way, in a really,
That's
really
right.
good way. Like there's always there's just a level of deep connection that I've always been incredibly grateful for. So yeah,
Mm,
thank you for that. Thank you
mm.
so much for
Yeah,
that.
man. Our pleasure.
You
Our
know,
pleasure.
Andrew, and what you're saying, the title of, I'll just paraphrase of what today's show is, I took from an interview you had with someone else, and it's about authenticity,
Mm,
finding your authentic
yeah.
self. And in that vein, Andrew, and I am, even though it's cool, they don't see a sweat. I'm sorry that the video didn't play because we had a connection issue. But what I would like for you, if you would tell us where you come from in how you got here, and then give us some credits of what you have done, please. I know Star
Okay.
Wars, Emmy
Um,
award winning.
um, well, first of all, big up the city of Toronto, the city that born me, and that's the one that the hip hop community that I came up in. So
Mm,
shout out to Michie Me, Maestro Fresh
Mm,
West, the Dream
mm,
Warriors,
mm,
Ghetto
mm.
Concept, Cardinal, Socrates, Danny O, all of these people, and then wider net of all of the people who I've been fortunate enough to come up in the golden era of hip hop, being highly biased as the best era of hip hop. Um, but having that be the crucible where so many of the things that I've learned about myself and about artistry, that definitely was the thing that shaped and molded that aspect of everything. Moved to Los Angeles around 2000, um, got into voice acting shortly thereafter. Um,
how did that
a-
happen?
and that was, well, at that time, I was a newlywed, and the music industry was like imploding. Um,
Mm.
so there was no way, and when you're around a certain age, it's not cute to be like, yo, I'm making demo tapes. Like that's just not cute, right? Like you can't be a grown man and have that's not a flex, right?
Come to the
So,
back of my car. I want to show you something.
yeah, yeah, right. Like you look like super whack when that's just, yeah, it's not cool. So, um, so I just gotten married, and my then wife, Vanessa Marshall, encouraged me to start taking voiceover classes, and she said, like, it's a short hop from the all of the time and all of the experience you have in studios to doing this because it's essentially this. It's not the same thing, but it is a very similar thing. So I took a year of classes, people going to people like, and again, having the benefit of the tutelage of people like Andrea Romano,
True.
um, the Kalmansons. There were so many people who, and again, and I know we'll circle back to this, but I knew it was very important to take like at least a year's worth of education, because this was not something that I could be like, I'm here, we're good, and then suddenly jump into the booth and start speaking. It was something it was a craft that I needed to understand what it was all about and how to properly, to this day, how to synthesize what I had learned as a creative in music into what I do now. So after that year and change of classes, made some demos, was signed to CESD, and from that, I was like late. 2002, 2000, early 2003, I think. Um, from that point till now, that's all I have done is
Really?
voiceover. So I've had
Mm.
the incredible good fortune for it to just go vertical from that point. Um, and we all know, I mean, like, listen, this is as much as this is a business of um, incredible emotional, intuitive expressiveness and being in simpatico with people that we have that we create with. This is Sharp Elbows, like mid '80s Detroit Pistons thug business, where you got to get down. Like you have to know how to get in there and really do your thing.
Mhm.
So to be able to subsist over that period of time just doing that, and I don't say that as a flex, I say that with gratitude. This is entirely with gratitude, not as a flex.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Is I'm incredibly grateful to have done um, to have done that for this length of time and to be involved, Iona, as you said, in projects like Star Wars, the Emmy Award-winning fifth season of Star Wars, to come on as Saw Gerrera, to be involved in series like Steven Universe, the regular show, franchises like Call of Duty, Ghosts of Tsushima, um, all of these things that I've been able to do. It's never lost on me how fortunate I am to be in those places. So, which is an odd combination because sometimes you get in that place where I don't think there's been a time where I haven't been in a studio and I've been like, I'm like, I have that, there's a flash of self doubt, but it's bolstered by you were asked here.
Mhm.
And that sense of the awareness of the resilience to be in that moment, to get to that moment of skill, like plant your feet, take a breath, step into what it is that you know.
Is it
So
like that
yeah, it's
nervousness you get, like that? Is that self doubt like akin to that nervousness if you're about to step on the stage to perform and you went to the bathroom, but you've got to go to the bathroom right about now, in that brief moment and then it just dissipates? Is that what that is like?
it is very much like that. Um, but on a deeper level, I think that there's something in a core sense that I've kind of reconciled that I'll never be able to shake. That's a there is a question of self-worth.
Mm.
So these moments where you're being utterly vulnerable in front of people you don't know to do something extraordinarily expressive, to swan dive off a cliff,
Mm.
these are moments that challenge exactly the sense of self-worth at the core of our being. So what the moment you're describing that I've come to have an uneasy detente with is this collision of the cognitive ability of knowing what to do and the visceral self-doubt of the inner child,
Yep,
and
Mm.
being
yep.
told you're not enough, you're not, you're never going to be
Mm-hmm.
anything, you're not going to amount to anything. And I've literally had people say that to my face. So these things echo, they echo back, they come back through the canyon of time in those moments and they slam into you very, very hard. um and those are the things where it's kind of like it's a daily operation, loose at the park or lurking at the train station, like these things come back over that time. But the gift that I give myself is you take the step, you open your mouth, you do the
Mm.
thing, and that's you overcome it. My mother always used to say, uh you are allowed to be as brave as you feel you are afraid. So when you
Mm.
step into those moments, you're like, acknowledge it. Don't disavow it,
Don't don't
acknowledge
don't
it,
push it
but
away. Yeah.
step into it and embrace it, but know that you possess the ability to be as brave in that sense, as monumental as you feel the fear may be.
It's brilliant. This is why we wanted to have you on. If y'all didn't know, now you know. My feeling about that is that Those sensations you're talking about are the things that keep us straight
Mm-hmm.
as an artist.
Mm,
It's
mm,
you
Mm-hmm.
are immersed. When I do not feel those things, I worry. It's when I feel those things, I do not worry. It's weird. In the worry, I don't worry because it's telling me I care. It's telling me I'm immersed. It's telling me I'm connected. It's telling me it's resonating within me. And those are the moments where, no, you shouldn't know whether or not you can reach it because your job is then to try to reach it in the moment. If you're reaching it before you get to the moment, that's not work. That's not art. That's not being present, in my opinion. And I have anxiety a lot less now than I have in the past because what I do now when that comes upon me, and it comes upon me all the time, happened to me yesterday on this job, just briefly. I just say to myself, "You're enough. You
mm,
belong. You
mm,
deserve. Breathe deep in it. Lean into it. Don't run away from. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I kind of don't want to get rid of it now. It's my superpower. It shows me how much I have to give, and that I will strive for the void that I don't know I need to give. And that's what the anxiety is the void. It's what I don't know. It's not what I know. But my not knowing, I will find out. Yesterday I worked with an older actor. Brilliant. When I'm able to talk about this, I can't wait. This dude's been around. He's been in many movies that you've seen. In fact, Iona, he was in an episode of Our Father's Mission Impossible. I asked him about it yesterday. It was brilliant. And
eh,
brilliant. We finished the day. This dude is 10 years older than me, done 100,000 more things than I have. He comes over to me, puts his hands on my shoulder, and he goes, I think we did good. I think we did good. Like a little kid. And he was so excited because I had never met this man before. He'd never met me before. It's just he and I in the scene. And we played like we were best friends from high school. And that's a part of this beauty that you're talking about. He and I were willing to risk whatever it took to make this work. And we accomplished it. So at the end of the day, we hugged ourselves and we are like, dude, way to cross the bridge. You know what I mean? Way to show up in the foxhole. Thanks for being a great playmate. And that's what this is about for me. And that's what I hear for you. And that's the beauty of it. No, it's always going to be a little bit of a, can, I mean, come on, can I do this character to justice the way that I need to, the way it needs me to do? That's always a good place to be for me. So I appreciate you sharing that. That's real.
I love how you describe that, Andrew, the collision of all of that of the past with
Mm,
what's going on right now. I think those words are so
mm.
powerful because once I heard you describe what you're saying, that is so true. I know I felt it and I feel it every time I walk on a set or every time I walk into a theater when I am about to direct something. And I know as much as I know only up to this point, and I have to stay open to the unknown until it happens. And that is at the same time frightening and exhilarating. And I have to remind myself I'm invited to be here. But for that brief moment, I question, do I know enough? Did I prepare enough? Have I got with the goods to give what I need to give? And then it's always a constant checking in with self. And Phil, what you were saying, I feel like it leaves us in that vulnerable, magical place in order to really
Yes.
play. Because if I know
Yeah,
everything,
man.
I'm scared. I'm now scared because I'm not open to anything. I know
Mm-hmm.
I know I know too much in a way that doesn't leave me vulnerable and to the moments that I'm anticipating are going to happen, but I don't know what's going to happen.
You're available. You're
Right,
available.
and then
My favorite
once it
director,
starts
one of them,
flowing, I'm right
Robert
there.
Altman. Real quick, Robert Altman. The title of his biography is "Falling Off the Cliff." It's exactly what you said, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
It's jumping off the. You said jumping off. His is falling off the cliff, and that's what he. This is a brilliant director.
Same thing.
Academy Award winning director. He every time he took a job, it was like, whew, hope I don't crack up on landing. You know what I mean? But he was willing to throw himself off this cliff of artistic expression to find out what the hell is there, and then bring that to the game. That's some risk. That's bravery.
Mm-hmm.
That's strength right there.
And that's the
this is that
courage.
that's yeah, and that's something that because I did watch the episode you did with Richard Lawson, who is again
Mm. Mm.
legendary, led, fascinating individual, incredible
Mm-hmm.
life, but someone who's a selfless educator,
Hmm.
and gives so greatly to people. But there was something that, and I can't recall exactly what it was during the conversation, but it was almost like that resonated deeply with me, where it was like it's almost as though he painted that artistry, like the moment. Iona, what you were talking about of existing in that moment where you step out into the unknown is like the artistry exists in between the self-assuredness and the fear. And to what Phil you're saying is jumping off the cliff is it's not the cliff, it's not the landing, it's the flight
Yup.
in
Ha!
between. It's the
Ha!
flight. And that
Yup.
flight is the thing. So that moment, that sort of that mercurial lightning in a bottle thing
Mm.
that occurs, because I know that there's countless times that you've experienced this where it's like this supercharged thing where you're in the middle of doing something that when you walk out of the booth, you step off the stage, you're like, there's that sort of what the hell just happened? Like, and there were things that you did that you were like, that there were things that you did that you were pushed beyond the what you thought your own capacity to do, that were done, that were achieved, that in concert with other individuals became greater than the sum of its parts.
Mm.
Right.
And
Right.
that's like, and as a director, I know you've seen this where it's kind of like you see people, it's kind of like they flip the switch and then things occur that you're like, wow, that just popped everything into three dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a magical moment. Those are magical things. So,
Mm.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's everything with what you're saying is we prepare. You prepare a role, I prepare a direction of a scene. We come, we're prepped, and we know all that goes away in that moment where it's going to just sit there and you allow the magic to happen. So then there are things you do you're like you didn't expect to do, but with the information and just allowing things to just happen, it is a very magical place to be, and I think it's what keeps all of us so young in so many ways. That's why I feel that actor who's so much older, who's been around, could come over and go, "We did good," still with that excitement of a 5-year-old child of let's play, because that's where we have to
Oh,
all
so good.
be.
So
Yeah, I mean,
good, man. Because
Phil, that whole thing, Phil, like even because I know you heavily into martial arts, it's like that thing of the
Mm,
tension before the fight, but then you realize on the first strike, oh, that didn't kill me. Like we're
mm-hmm.
going to spar. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna die. There,
Right.
this is not. It's like the first line, the first strike. All my friends who played professional ball, the first hit when you're on the field, it is that there's an element of existential threat or dread, perceived or that is whether it's justly
Actual.
or
Yeah.
unjustly perceived, right? That that is that thing that has the adrenaline on overdrive, but the faith kind of subverted. And once that occurs, it flips, and then the
Mm.
adrenaline is controlled by the faith, and the faith is kind of riding that adrenaline like a locomotive, going like, "I got this. It's all right.
mm,
It's going 100 miles an hour down the track, but I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull this
Mm-hmm.
into the station, and everything's gonna be fine."
Yup.
well,
Talk about martial
mm,
arts if I can. I just, as a quick story, I was teaching this cat. Another, he's a black belt guy, and talking to he's a tough dude and bar fights and all this stuff. He's telling me, and so he starts coming to train with me in my garage. I really love this guy, and we're training a couple times, and I said on this one day, I said, okay, we're gonna spar. He goes, huh? I said, yeah, you told me you spar, you fight. I said, we can do it two different ways. We can do point fighting where just, we stop short, or I got all the gear here and we can rock it. It's up to you. He goes, I picked the first. I picked the point fighting. Like, okay, cool. Cool. So we square off against each other. I look at this cat and I start smiling. And he's like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's all this smiling? Why this smiling? What's up? I said, hey man, I don't know you. You can kick my ass. And then I learned something. And I'm good with that because that's why I'm here. I'm not here to teach right now. We're just gonna fight. I'm just gonna find something out, and I'm cool with that because I've been training for so long. I'll accept it. I'm not afraid of that. I've stepped in that void many times and thought I was gonna take care of business and was wrong, or didn't think I was gonna take care of business and was wrong there too. So I don't know until we get to it. I don't know, bro. You're learning from me, but now we throw that all out the door. And he it was like a whole nother attitude. He didn't know what to do with that because I was comfortable with it. I wasn't afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was in the void and I can live in that void. Can you live in that void? Are you okay in that void? Can you find comfort in a violent situation? I have to teach people all the time how to accept violence and to calm the mind, the heart, and the spirit so that your body can operate. And this guy had not trained that way. And that was then the training we started doing was accepting the void, accepting the risk, accepting the fact that, yeah, you might get clocked. Are you good with it? I was good with it. He was not. So that gives you a greater sense of self control. I can't control them. It's like in a scene, I don't want to control the scene. I want it to be, I want to bring, like Iona said, as much as I can because I prepare. And then I forget, then I let it go because my intellect knows. It knows what to do. Now can I let go enough to accept what's there? That's the void.
Mm,
That's where true
mm.
growth and artistry, in my opinion, comes from. The preparation's great. But now I come to the scene with you and Iona. I got to listen. I got to watch.
Communicate.
I got to learn. I got to communicate. I got to speak.
Mm.
I got to build those artistic creative bridges with you. Not just the shit that I did in my head in my room or in
Mm.
my dressing room. I got to bring all that here. And now I got to throw it away. And now let's go. I call it let's play. Let's play. Let's play.
To be in that constant state of surprise
Oh,
by other people's actions and to be willful to be open to that is is
mm.
such is such a amazing thing. As you were speaking about that, it reminded me of something Iona, you and I briefly spoke about prior to this, which was about not just within the scope and framework of the creative process, but in the business at large of resiliency, of the
Mm.
idea of like to sort of to take what you were saying, Phil, of like the aspect of being in quotations hit, taking encountering an obstacle, for lack of a better way of generalizing it, encountering an obstacle and then understanding the way to move around that and to not again have that existential demolition of what you are,
Mhm.
and to say, not only creatively in that sense, but in the greater business sense, because we've all, I mean, the war stories are countless, but the number of people and situations that we've encountered where it's been like, yo, this is messed up. Like, this is, these people are wilding. Like, what's going on? And you have to move through that. You have to move beyond that. You have to have that sense of resiliency while at the same time retaining that sense of childlike wonder about everything.
Yes, that
Delicate balance.
delicate balance. We were joking earlier about a gig I'm working on, and Andrew said tongue in cheek. So have you had to knock anybody out yet? Right, something like that, right? And that comes to mind when I think about that, because in our business, there are so many times when we're like jaws get tight and you get upset. And when I found communication and just really talking with someone and sometimes leaving them be, oftentimes standing in the space of what my authentic self is in truth, and seeing past what I need them to do, but seeing where they are, because so many weaknesses and strengths come up in our business because we're so
Yeah,
vulnerable, because we're just so
Yeah, yeah,
open in that
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
And I find in the position I'm in that me staying in a space of understanding more of, well, where are they coming from, helps me not knock people out like when I was younger and I just get mad, because then that was really all about me and what I didn't get, as opposed to where are you, so I can communicate and reach you there. It's been it's been so successful for me. I had my first week of work and I was going to sleep last night, you guys going, damn, this was good. And the difference from the unknowing of me on Monday to the, are you ready, Iona? Can we go, Iona? Are you? I went, what did I do so I could remember that and give to the process? And that's what we all have to remember. So many times, you guys, you see actors and you go, oh, they're so happening. They're so this, they're so that. And we've got to learn how to give. Like these two gentlemen, they come prepared, but they give to their director, to their producer, to their other actors, and stay open to receive. That's a great actor. Dad taught us, Andrew, those who are running around being ego driven and all this, they have not arrived. Those who have arrived are the gracious ones, the Bob Hope, the Lena Horne. We found them to be gracious when we met them. Barbara Bain, the man Phil worked with.
Mm,
Those are the real talent. Yourself, Andrew. That's why people want
Mm.
to call you back. Yeah, your voice is good. Yeah, you and Phil are killing it out there talent wise. But
Mhm.
it's who you bring as human beings to their experience of the moment.
Yes, Iona, come
More
on.
important.
wow,
They want
if I
you,
may,
bro.
yeah, if I may, that reminds me of something that
Please.
one of the really really good people in the music industry told me. One of the few, um, is
Right.
he said he said always remember this is you never trust people who say success is the best revenge,
Mhm.
because success and revenge are mutually exclusive concepts. And it is something I always like to tell people by that same token, exactly what you said, Iona, because he said to me, he's like, what is success? What is success really? And, my initial response, yeah, I'm young, stupid, right? So I'm saying, like, what? Money. Like, I could do whatever I want. Like, big house. Like, I got whatever. Like, I'm good. Sold this amount of records, this, that, the third, whatever. And he's like, keep going, keep going. You're almost there. And after I kind of run out of everything, there's a pause and he says, happiness. So I kind of was like, it took a second for that to sink in.
Mm.
And he said, whatever you paint that picture like, that's what success is. It doesn't matter if it's a big house. It doesn't matter if people are the adulation of thousands of people. It doesn't matter if you're feared when you walk into a boardroom of people at an agency and people, cower before you and that's what you want. It's however you define. It could be two dogs in a small house in a town no one's heard of, and that could be success for you.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
let's wheel it back. What is revenge? And I was like, well, and he said, he goes, I'll help you with this one. He said, revenge is the self righteous need to correct something that you felt was unjustified done to you by a person, place, or situation.
Mm.
So then, if your success, which is your happiness, is the need to tie you to something to get revenge on, that person, place, or thing will always own you.
Mm.
Bring it.
Ooh.
Bring it.
So work towards your happiness. Do not work towards trying to prove this person, place, or thing wrong, to prove to them, to prove to that situation, to prove to that time in your life, which by now is anachronistic. It has no relevance in your life. Work towards being that person where it's like, that's what you want. Your happiness moves you forward. If success is your best revenge, you're hustling backwards. You're literally walking backwards, looking at everything and saying, I'm gonna show all of you.
Right. Right.
They're not
Right.
hearing it. They're not seeing it.
No, because it
And
ain't
it's
their
never enough
business.
for
It's
them.
your business, right? It's your
It's
business,
never
not
enough for
theirs. And
them.
that's what we get it twisted. We keep thinking that them, that I got to get them. Well, that ain't your business. Your business is
Yeah.
your business. And
Right.
and you know, I want to dial it back a little bit because you're talking about a guy who hit you pretty cool with that knowledge.
That's beautiful.
Dude, let's go back. Let's go back to Toronto, please.
Ah,
We had, you know, we got a little mixed race child, I imagine, growing up in Toronto,
Mhm.
uh, trying to figure it out. And you found music. How did you find music? How did you find that influence? Where did that come from, as opposed to basketball or hockey, which you may have had as well? I don't know.
well, my starting from the beginning, you're absolutely right. Half British, half Japanese. My mother was trapped in London when the Nazis were bombing. Um,
Mhm.
so literally was there when planes are literally like that would darken the sky and literal munitions falling out of planes, which is something that I is so hard to even conceptualize. My father was imprisoned for the first 5 years of his life in the Japanese internment camps. So a lot of trauma, a lot of generational trauma that comes from that. Um, my father had problems with alcohol and other stuff, and
Mhm.
my mother kind of raised us when he left. She was, frequently cursed at, even spit on a couple times, looking at us at that time. So, for exactly for what we were, right? So she
Mhm.
endured a lot for us. Um, that put me in a place where you don't belong anywhere.
Mhm.
So you're not Asian enough to be Asian. You're definitely not white enough to be white because apparently you're never white enough to be white, the way they run.
Mhm.
But the the thing about that I absolutely love about Toronto um, is the strong, powerful West Indian community. So the gathered family of Jamaicans, Bajans, Guyanese, Trini, Grenadians, uh,
Mm.
Haitians, who I was fortunate enough, humbled enough to be pulled in and taken as family.
Oh.
That is the gathered family to which I owe so much. So finding community amongst um, amongst gathered family like that, it provides a sense of self-worth, provides a sensibility and way of seeing the world, um, and a way of overcoming that emotional and mental adversity. Because no one will get you into shape quicker than a Jamaican mother. That, um, that all was so amazing, and even from a literal sense of going over to friends' places and experiencing them sitting you down at the table and having them cook for you and being welcome, because there's something so it's utterly intimate to
Mhm.
be invited into someone's home and to be brought as a child, to be brought at the table and to be fed. That's a deeply intimate thing. um
Mm.
so all of the friends that I have there who I still speak to this day, um, I owe them a tremendous level of gratitude on
Mm.
so many levels. Uh, Yes, we all came up, we all loved hip hop, we all, you know, ran in those circles, we all earned our war scars, being around the culmination, the inception of that art form. But at the same time, just sort of the sense of there's few things more important than that sense of belonging. So that was such a powerful, amazing thing to be brought into that community. And so that I have a
Ooh.
lifelong sense of gratitude and a lifelong sense of belonging with that community.
Mhm.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
so moved by people who they saw you.
Yes, yes, to be
They saw
seen.
you. Mhm.
Oh, Yeah,
And how
yeah.
did you then? I know you said you all liked hip hop. How did that then take you into your music?
Well, here's the other thing is I am profoundly dyslexic.
And
So school, yeah, I picked the two absolute worst careers possible, hip hop artist and voiceover. So
words,
few
words,
things,
words.
yeah, few things deal with a greater volume of words than those two careers. And for some reason, it's deeply, I guess I'm a masochist. I don't know. There's something that just drove me to those professions. Um, but they, but that was also something where it was like hip hop specifically allowed me to organize and um, arrange words in a way that started to make sense. Because at that age, at that
Mm,
time specifically, right, the plethora of diagnostics that you have now for people with diagnoses, subdiagnoses, characteristics, tendencies, all of these things, those things didn't exist then.
mm-hmm,
Certainly not to the detail, or they weren't part of the broader cultural conversation. You were just stupid or you couldn't pay attention.
mm,
It was a broad stroke. That was it. So I struggled, and hip hop allowed me to, with the use of metered language to tempo, alliteration, assonance, simile, metaphor, all of these things allowed me to suddenly it's like it sharpened the focus on language, and then that allowed me to make a better sense of it. And then to come of age, again, incredibly grateful to come of age where you're around people like KRS-One and Scott LaRock, bless the dead when he was alive, Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, bless the dead when he was alive, MC Shan, Just Ice, Cash Money and Marvelous, all of these people where
mm-hmm.
you're like, man, this is an incredible time that I'm in the middle of, to be fortunate to be in the middle of all of this. Um, and then to make that step and start making your own records. It's like, man, that was an incredible thing. And to be the first hip hop artist signed to a major label in Canada, that was like that
Mm.
was an incredible thing.
So
How
you
long were you?
preceded Drake. I'm just
Yeah, yes,
saying. You talking Toronto?
yes. I will in no way, shape, or form do I take any credit whatsoever for his tremendous, incredible, prolonged artistry and success. But I'm beneath a blip on a screen when it comes to him. But yes,
Yeah,
same lineage, same
I ain't
city.
even saying that. I'm just saying
Say you
my homie was
proceeded.
there. Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my homie was there. That's all. That's all. I mean, I own and I know about being in a firmament of
Mm,
incredibly high artistic vibration. Incredibly
Mm.
high artistic vibration. Now, you can go to the local YMCA and do, our town, and you can get a lot out of that. There's no doubt about it. But when you're at the Amundsen and you're playing opposite Hal Holbrook, or in your living room is Sidney Poitier talking to your dad, or you go to the set and you're talking to Sammy Davis Jr., or you go to a concert and you're sitting at the feet of Louis Bellson while Pearl Bailey is singing, and you meet Frank Sinatra and David Niven. So the high artistic vibration that you travel in
mm-hmm.
says a lot. It says a lot.
It-
It just does.
First,
It resonates
thank
in you.
you. Thank you. And if I can take a quick diversion on what you just said, because this is something that, I don't like to grind axes, but this is something I do feel very passionately about. Is that when we came up, speaking specifically and explicitly to what you just said, you were clowned if you hadn't read certain books. You were clowned if you didn't know the history of, like, if you didn't know Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Fearless Four, Grandmaster Kaz, like all of these people who would, Grand Wizard Theodore, Coke LaRock. If you didn't know who these people were, you got clowned. If you didn't know the jazz, funk, soul, reggae, um, disco records that were the foundation of hip hop songs that were sampled, you got clowned for that. History, the architects, was so deeply ingrained. The reverence and the respect that we had to exhibit for people
Mm,
was deeply ingrained in the artistry itself. And so now what I see is, and I would defer to Iona on this, is anecdotally myself, is that's not present. Or if it is, it's present to a much less degree.
mm,
That studying the people who have traveled the path before you and are exceptional in the true sense of exceptional at what we do, that's it carries little currency. The only currency now is visibility. And we spoke about this,
mm,
Iona, where it's
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
visibility is construed as expertise, and expertise is currency. The problem now is visibility is construed as currency. Just
Mm-hmm.
because you're visible doesn't mean you're an expert. It just means you show your ass a lot. That's all it means. Pardon me. But that's all it means. You're out in
Yep.
these internet streets showing your ass a lot. That's all it means. It doesn't mean you're an expert.
That's
Mm-hmm.
so
So
true.
Mm-hmm.
and I would defer to you and love to hear your thoughts on that, because it is something that grinds my gears. That does grate my cheese, where it's like it's imperative, not only from a sense of the development of the craft, but just from a preservation of people who have traveled before us, how important they are to the legacy of what it is that we do.
That is so true, Andrew. And and what's happening right now in our own country of getting rid of the history, getting rid of history now, because and that lets you know how much currency is in knowing your history. We were black kids growing up in Beverly Hills, and there was nobody else around who looked like us. And our father took every summer when school was over, it was not about, yay, we're going to swim and vacations weren't going to take. It was about, all right, now here are some books on Black history you are going to read, and you are going to give me a report at the end of the summer. And all of us, or a poem you needed to learn that was fortifying your spirit. We were all like, why we have to do this? Well, shoot, that created a foundation of us knowing who we are and appreciating those who have come before us. And I have found that. And I've worked with young actors who come, and I've got 100,000 followers, so I can do this. No. What who's gone before you? Do you know about some of the other great actors? Do you know about some of the other great works? Have you read a play and you want to do a play? You can't just go to Juilliard because you went to Juilliard online during COVID. That did happen to me with one. That you and that is the problem I'm seeing right now in people who are working. I'm working with a wonderful, I'm not going to tell you who he is, but a wonderful comedian who is a comedian but not an actor. It doesn't matter how many shows you've done or guest or film.
Mm.
You're not an actor yet. So the muscle within him, he now sees, and I'm so grateful for the way he works. But there is a
Mm.
muscle that you need to have to learn the craft of something that comes way before me, that I've learned to teach to pass on. That's the currency of the work. Looking at just because you like other actors and what they do, watch them. Don't just get off on watch what they're doing, because that currency of their knowledge that dad has always talked to us about, steal that. You ain't gonna be just because you stole something from someone, you can't do
What
it
about
like
her?
they did it. But you're right, but
What about
keep
that?
it right here. But you're gonna take it and infuse it with who you are. So yeah, I'm finding that's an unfortunate thing of social media, though it is a blessing in many ways. We have lost what it means to really have the craft of understanding of those who've come before you in whatever discipline you're interested in. I know you got some
We're
thoughts,
prisoners
Joe,
of the
too.
moment. We're prisoners of the moment.
Mm,
And the
okay.
moment
Yeah.
is social media. And
Mm,
we've given value to a form of expression that is valueless unless you give it value. And the value that they're giving it is very visceral. It's very outside in as opposed to inside out. Um, Whenever there's a young actor who wants my advice, I bring them to my house and I show them my library. And they look at this library and they're like, "You read all these books?" I'm like, yeah, yes, I have read 90% of them. The ones that I haven't, I'm definitely going to dive into. But they're overwhelmed by the amount of knowledge that you need, my opinion, to be successful, accomplished, fulfilled, uh, meaningful in this particular art form. There's a lot of knowledge that I have compiled. There's a lot of knowledge that is required. My mother used to call our father Ob because of his observational
Mhm.
qualities. He's able to observe
Mm.
human behavior. He was a student of human behavior. He was a student of human speech. He was probably why we do voiceover now. My father taught me how to speak phonetically. And so these things that you're given, the mentorship that you're given, the things that you're humbled to accept that are bigger than you, create your vibration. Who you operate with, who you are around, who influences you, they resonate in your vibration. So the lower vibration that you're associating with creates a low vibration within you. So it's incumbent upon us to challenge ourselves to find those vibratory elements
Mm.
that lift you and push you into places that then we'll bring it right back full circle to the anxiety and the nervousness that you're going to feel when you don't feel you can fill the space because you're striving for something bigger than who you are. Because now you can't unknow what you know. And if you only know so much, there's not only so much you can go on. And for me, I've always told actors, don't live life as an actor. Don't go to class and to have coffee with the teacher and be best friends with them. Or, I've worked with Andrea Romano many times. I've socialized with her many times, but I don't do it. And I didn't do it in order to curry favor with her. It was just because that was what was up. When I showed up on set with an Andrea Romano, it didn't matter how many drinks we had or how many social events we went to. You better bring your shit. And if you didn't, you heard about it. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter whether you played Superman every time they did Superman or not. Tim Daly, you gonna get a note. You know what I'm saying? And so those people hold you to task. You don't get a pass just because you're hanging with them. You don't ever get a pass, as a matter of fact. You are always having to prove your fucking metal. Excuse
Come
me.
on.
And that's what you should
That's
go
all right.
into every
Yo, this is a
experience. Yo, man, that's what you should go into every experience like that. Bring everything you have. One quick story, and then I'll pass it on like a good relay runner. Stick. I play a lot of basketball. Used to play a lot more basketball. And I'm playing at this one park. I'm killing this dude. And this was right down from Culver Studios. I was doing a show at the time. Every lunch hour, I was so obsessed. Every lunch hour, I go up to the playground and
wait,
play.
wait, wait.
And
Was it shots from the perimeter, or were you were you killing them in the paint, or both?
I got handles, and I got a long range game, and I had a
Okay,
40-inch
all right,
vertical
okay,
at the
good
time.
to know.
I
Okay,
was a
so
high jumper,
he's getting
so
served from the buffet and from the bar. Cool. All right, cool.
yeah. He getting cooked. He getting cooked. And he goes, time out, time out. He goes, this is your home court. This is your home court, man. This is not fair. I said, homie, I said, you see this spot I'm killing you from right here? He goes, yeah. I said, I take this spot with me everywhere I go.
Come on
It
now.
ain't
Oh,
just
that's
here,
so
bro.
cold. Oh, that's so
It's
cold.
everywhere.
So true.
And that's what we need to
That's
do
so
everywhere we
frozen.
go. Every
Uh-huh.
mic I'm
Oh,
behind, I'm
god
bringing my
damn.
spot, man. Every camera I'm in front of, I got my spot with me. I'm not leaving it behind. It's not my playground, it's my spot.
Mm-hmm.
So that I own that. And I take it with me and I bring it and I reveal it and I want you to play with me. I want you to bring your spot. I want you to hit all your jumpers. I want you to hit your drop step. I want you to go left-handed, right-handed. Whatever you got, let's go. But I'm definitely going to bring what I have. And that was a huge lesson. When I said I'd never said that before, but I realized that's the truth. I take this spot everywhere I go.
I love that. I want to speak on something you said, Phil, and then pivot to what you said, Andrew. When you talk about Phil, when you talk about all the things you've read and the information that you've gathered from classes and other things, that's what creates longevity. Longevity, you guys. You can, in a moment, create lightning in a bottle. Oh my God, I got a voiceover job and I'm doing this, or I got an acting job. I've got 100,000 followers. I am grooving. That it has no foundation of anything. So when that ends, do you know how to recreate it? No, because you don't have a foundation. Do you know how to continue doing it? No, because you don't have a foundation. So don't poo poo reading as much as Phil does. Don't poo poo watching documentaries, watching films, really say, listening to voiceover talent. And Andrew, you said something that I tell people all the time when they ask about voiceovers. They say, how do I do it? I say, well, go and take class. Well, I'm taking a class. Take 3, take 4. Learn from so many people. And I still say, find a book, find a phone book. Remember in the old days, if you can read the phone book, interesting, then you've got something. Read, stick with it before you go out there. Because you guys, people like Andrew and Phil have been doing this for years. That's who you're competing with. That's who you're competing
Yeah.
with. Sure, you may have walked in the room and in that moment gotten that job there, but are you going to get another one? And are you going to know how to make a turn when somebody gives you a direction? You don't know what to do, and you think in the ego space. That space is not what's going to drive you further, and it's going to bring you the happiness Andrew was talking about, or Phil, the longevity he was talking about.
I could not agree more. That I'm always reminded of something that Denzel Washington. I don't know if he explicitly said this, but I know he's alluded to it, where he said, "I got my friends. They're the ones. I'm Denzel. When I do my job, I'm Denzel Washington. But around them,
Mm.
like they're the ones who are gonna they're gonna chirp on me. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna get into disagreements. We do whatever. They make me what I am. They have grounded me and got me to this place. Not got me to the place in the sense of that, but in the sense of this is my core group that defines who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, Phil, exactly where it's like the mercenary, opportunistic desire to affiliate or associate with people, which is rampant now,
Mm.
under the guise of networking
Mm-hmm.
um, and friendship, which is really just mercenary leveraging and parasitic behavior, is something that Iona, that you just said, that was like, it took me literally years to figure out that it's what I have that no one else has. Like Phil, I bring my spot wherever I go. But it's like, it's exactly that background. Everything I described before about my parents, about sitting at a table where you're welcomed in by gathered family. All of those things, like nobody else has that. Nobody else is that. So when I opened my mouth, it was, and I had people try to grind it out of me. There were coaches who shall remain nameless who tried to grind that out of me. And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
this is the thing that separates me from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had a coach say, don't ever talk about hip hop. And I'm like, I'm a member of Zulu Nation. I have been around five percenters and FOI and NOI. I've grown up around some guys who were legendary names who are no longer here, who are your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, favorite rapper. I am a guest in the house of hip hop, so let me be very clear about that. But to the extent that that is the gathered family that I belong to, it's like that is who I am. It's not the entirety of me, but that's part of who I am. That's grinding that out of me only homogenizes me into
Come
something that
on.
is like the person who is
Shoot.
like, I'm the person showing their abs or doing their whatever. There's an experience. Y'all know, this is a stupid question. I shouldn't have even started with that. Twinkie Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Twinkie Bird's holding this online thing when there are these people who are, it was like kind of like a clubhouse-ish kind of thing, right? And this young man, bless his heart, gets on and says, like, I want to get more roles where I'm like, intellectual and I'm whatever and this, that, and whatever. And he's good looking dude, whatever, right? But clearly 21, 22 years old. And she says, while he's talking, she says, shoot me your link or your IMDb or whatever, or your Instagram. And she comes back on and she says something to the effect of, it's like, all your pictures are you shirtless. All your pictures are you posing and showing yourself. So
Mm.
you want something that you're presenting as something else. And now,
Mm.
are you familiar with any of the shows that would, the deeper, more meaty kind of dramatic things that you want to be involved in? Like, for example, The Wire. Are you familiar with any of that? Like, have you seen those shows? And he said, "Is that on streaming?" And it was like you could hear like you could hear in her brain go like, I need to think about the next thing I'm about to say very carefully because
Yes,
I don't
right,
want to
right,
say what
right,
I'm.
right,
I
right.
don't want to say the first thing that I'm about to say. So she said very slowly. She was like, "I would suggest you go and watch that, and go and watch that." And you knew in that moment that she was giving him the greatest courtesy that was not deserved because she could have aired him out like dirty laundry. And instead, she was just like, "I think it's a good. I think you would benefit from that. I think you
And
would benefit from that." But it is that thing of like, use Lynn Collins. You got to use what you got to get what you want.
that's right.
Like, take everything that you are and be like, that's the thing. That's when I see these friggin', again, don't mean to grind the axe, but it's like, I'm a voice actor, I'm whatever. Man, go ahead with that BS. Just do you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you. You bring so much incredible, unique, and I don't mean you, but I mean like in the general sort of greater sense.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Of
yeah, yeah.
course, of
the,
course.
The
I,
collective you.
you know what? Let me be more accurate about it.
Mm.
Let, let me do me. I'll
Mm.
solely be accountable for me because I think I think that's a grammatical thing that I think is a bad habit. Is I need to be me. I need to reflect and embrace who I am, warts and all, successes and all, and say that is what makes me what I am. That is what I bring, and there is absolutely zero people out there who could do what I do. Period. End of story.
I say
So
that's. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So that's the thing. That's that combined with the journey, like Phil said in the beginning, of like jumping off the cliff, of like that is both the artistic, the parallel artistic and life journey of making those two things run in parallel. It's like we're three people: the person we think we are, the person other people think we are, and the person we actually
We
are.
actually
And
are.
we're always trying to align those three things so that they are absolutely as close to parallel all the time. That is the goal. So having that sense of of embracing that and going, let me just bring that. Let me not be this dude, that individual, whatever. That is the core and key thing.
Ah, I've got a question from Canine that I need to put up here for Andrew. But Andrew, I gotta say,
Sorry.
you have severe dyslexia.
Yes,
Your parents went through much trauma in their lives.
yes, yes.
You came from a mixed household. And I just want to repeat this for all of you, just to go like on a little list of things. So when y'all think about all the bullshit in your life that's holding you back, or you make an assumption, Dad used to say that makes an ass out of you and me, of someone else. I want you to remember Andrew Kishino and what I just listed and what you have heard from him today. The words he has used so brilliantly and almost poetically at times. Dad used to call them $5 words. The way he has expressed himself, the way he has spoken to people who have tried to drive himself out of himself. And I want you to look up Andrew Kishino, Kishino. You see it right there. And look at what this man has accomplished and the humble strength. And I say humble strength because so many times you meet people go, oh no, I know that. Yeah, I did a little bit. He has humbled strength of appreciation and gratitude for who he is and what has come to him. At the same time, strengthened with what he brings. You a bad mother. Shut your mouth, Andrew Kishino.
I I felt that right in my chest.
Just
I'm so grateful. Like, and self-praise is no recommendation. So I can never take credit for anything but for the gifts that God has given me. So, and the path that was laid that I'm fortunate to be where I am.
did you?
So, yeah,
K9's got
yeah.
a question for you, Andrew. Andrew, what's your thoughts?
Oh,
You've
okay,
pretty
all
much
right.
spoken to this, but specific from him identity crisis and how that impacts our ability to find our authentic self. Let me,
Mm.
I'm going to put it up there for everybody to see again while you reflect.
Wow, yeah, let me see. Thoughts on identity crisis and how that impacts our ability to find our authentic self. Well, everyone's journey is individual, that's for sure. Um, and I think that for me, I can only speak to my own experience, is to not be myopic in the way that I see things, to not have tunnel vision or to say, to close things off and restrict things when defining who I am. I think that's a natural tendency because the world starts to seem like a very big and can seem like a very big, very threatening place because it feels, again, like you're unmoored, like you're unanchored. And the key for me was to broaden the scope, embrace the things that the broad scope of things that you have, embrace them for me, musically, culturally, racially, all of those things. If you're a member of the LGBTQIA community, embrace those things. Step, as fearful as you may be, step into those things and find the community, find the love, speak to the people who can speak life and love into you and surround you and uplift you. Um, the moment of perfect opportunity never arises. So sometimes these moments will be daunting when you step into an environment, a community, a group of people. But for whatever my mother gave to me, and I will give to anybody else, K9, I give to you, is again, you are allowed to be as brave as you feel you are afraid. So when that moment, that hesitation comes up, like Phil and I were talking about, like just before you're about to do this thing, and you feel that physical, visceral grip in your chest, let your bravery be the thing that acknowledges that, but forces the grip to release and
Mm.
step forward and do that. And every day take a little bit of time to, oh, this is the other thing I would say is every day take a little bit of time where there's no screen, no phone, no nothing, and just let your mind settle and meditate on yourself. And that connection, being happy in the quietness of who you are, is as important as being happy in the broad scope of understanding and pulling things in.
Wow, Andrew, we've always asked our guests that you just powerful, my brother. You're so powerful. We ask our guests to give final words, and what you just did. Thanks, K9, for the question. That
Yeah,
was some powerful final
provided,
words, my
Indeed. Thank you. That was a great
brother.
question. Thank you.
provided. That would a wrap up. My goodness,
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Andrew.
Thank you for having me. It meant the world.
You've
this is
inspired
so
us,
beautiful, so enlightening,
and you can,
so enlightening, bro.
anyone you want to share this with, you guys, it's archived in our podcast and our channel, Instagram and Face the Book. Andrew, have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.
Well, I'll see both of you very soon in person.
I need
Yeah,
it.
you will.
Okay, I need it, bro. And K9 is from Toronto.
Ah,
Just saying. When I was there, he and I had a nice sit down and visited. So yeah, he about it. He's a good brother.
We'll talk to you soon, my love. Have a good one. Thank you, Chantel, for connecting us.
Love you, AK. Love you, man.
love you both.
Ciao.
Mm.
That was worth a
Talk about
Saturday
covering the
show.
bases.
Oh man.
Woo!
I tell you.
My
I
My.
cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you both enough. You both are like, both of you are like home cooked food to me. Like you're, yeah, you mean the world, and you put a huge smile on my face. So yeah, I love you
Thanks,
both,
Andrew.
and I can't emphasize this enough. Both of you are like North Stars to me personally and professionally, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for your presence in my life.
Thank you, Andrew.
Same
Ditto.
back, my friend.
We love you.
Thank
See you
you.
soon, my
Thanks for
brother.
raising our vibration.
All right, we will talk
Raise the
soon.
vibration, yes.
Yeah.
Woo! Well, Philly Willie, that was a wonderful Saturday moment. Wonderful.
Stupendous. I just was loving. I love when we have energies that I can just sit and just have it wash over me, and it fills me with such light and love to have people like Andrew on who are about it and who are have their feet under them and are willing to speak on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I just thank him for being here and for sharing everything, And I don't have much to else to give. I just do want to say one thing about um, K9's comment about identity crisis. If you're having an identity crisis, your answer is in the crisis.
Come on.
Your answer is in the crisis. So if the issue is a place you're not comfortable with, or you're not self assured, or it's cultural, it's racial, it's religious, it's whatever, your answer is in that place. So look for your answer within the crisis and do your best to diminish and demystify that crisis, and your answer will come to you. And then you will never, ever, ever have to face that again, because you will have gone through that crisis and answered those questions based on the quote unquote crisis you're either thinking you're going through or you're actually going through. Trust and believe, as an African American male on this planet, every single day, there's a moment I'm like, hey, I better know who I am, because they're going to try to take a lot from me. They've proven that, the they of the world. So my crisis is no longer. And I have to get over that in order to be strong in my reality, so that they don't run a game on me based on my lack of understanding of who I am, what I am, and what I have to give. That goes back to our understanding your history, understanding where you come from, understanding the difficulties that people have gone through before you showed up, and putting it in perspective. One of the reasons I always went back to Ebenezer Baptist Church when I was in Atlanta was to humble myself, was to put myself in a position where I was surrounded by greats, legends, icons who had gone through the beatings, the dog attacks, the fire hoses, the burnings, the lynchings, the rapes. They'd gone through all that, and I'm the beneficiary of whatever they gave us as a result of their pain. So to honor them, I have to get over my pain and be the best person I can be and bring that to this world. That's the stage they set for me. That's the stage our Father set for us. And it creates a great identity awareness and pride. And that's what will help you get through your crisis.
Mm. Phil, that's beautiful. And I'm just going to say ditto to everything Phil said, ditto to everything our illustrious guest, Andrew Kishino,
Mm.
said. And of course, I'll just end with this one thing. You know what I say? Look in the mirror. That's your best friend. Get to know them. I love what you said, Phil, because it's about going through it, not ignoring. Well, we love you guys. Know that we won't be live for about a month on Wednesdays, but but who knows? We may do a special show like this. We'll let you know. But
Yep.
we're not going to be doing that. But archives, lots of videos, lots of other shows that we've had. We love you all. Have a good one. And you know how I like to end. Bye, Philly.
See you soon.
See you soon, sweetie pie. Love you
Bye.
guys.